This was a big week for PRLA's legislative roundtables. Just this week, 7 virtual roundtables across the state were held and were attended by some 400 PRLA members and nearly 100 legislators and staff. We are receiving bipartisan support for our common sense package of bills to get restaurants safely reopened and provide much needed relief to the hospitality industry. Allegheny County this week updated its July 17th order to allow outdoor gatherings of up to 100 people. This is an increase from the previous restriction of 50 people. As a reminder, the rest of the state, except for Philadelphia, is at 250 for outdoor gatherings. Speaking of Philadelphia, PRLA hosted a webinar with officials from Philly to review indoor dining regulations and answer questions. While some answers raised more questions, PRLA is working diligently to gain clarification. In addition to PRLA's op-ed, which has now been carried in 7 publications and had an estimated audience reach of 7.6 million, Eaton Park CEO Jeff Broadhurst penned an op-ed in support of getting restaurants reopened again. Jeff's editorial appeared in the Pittsburgh Business Times. AHLA yesterday released an analysis on the economic and human struggle of the hotel industry 6 months into the COVID-19 pandemic. Key findings include 4 out of 10 hotel employees are still not working. Almost 2/3, 65% of hotels remain at or below 50% occupancy, which is below the threshold at which most hotels can break even and pay debt. Consumer travel remains at an all-time low, with only 33% of Americans reporting they have traveled overnight for leisure or vacation since March. And just 38% say they are likely to travel by the end of the year. Urban hotels are suffering the most and facing collapse, with cripplingly low occupancies of 38%, significantly below the national average. COVID-19 has left hotels in major cities across the country struggling to stay in business, resulting in massive job loss and dramatically reducing state and local tax revenue for 2020 and beyond. Also this week, an attempt by the Pennsylvania House to override Governor Wolf's veto of H.R. 836, which would have ended the governor's disaster declaration, failed by a vote of 118 to 84. So the veto stands. Governor Wolf signed a second renewal of his 90-day disaster declaration for the COVID-19 pandemic. This week, the National Restaurant Association launched its National Restaurant Revival campaign with a new commercial which will run on network and cable streams through September. This campaign ties into the Serve Safe Dining commitment, which provides best practices and training programs to welcome guests back safely. PRLA has also partnered with the National Restaurant Association to gain wider distribution in Pennsylvania once Governor Wolf reopens restaurants to at least 50% capacity. This week, we were pleased to welcome special guest Andrew Usick, American Hotel and Lodging Association VP of Government Affairs, to Melissa Bova's weekly update webinar. AHLA also released an enhanced version of COVID-19 precautions for hotels, a hotel-specific online training course designed specifically for cleaning and safety during the pandemic. The training now includes a brand new de-escalation module on how to reduce tensions and promote a safe environment while maintaining the spirit of hospitality throughout all interactions. Thanks to our national partners at the American Hotel and Lodging Association, which was recently recognized by the American Society of Association Executives, ASAE, as one of the 100 associations that will save the world. On Wednesday, President Trump's payroll tax deferral began. President's executive order offers the possibility for workers to temporarily collect more money in their paychecks, but of course the money needs to be paid back later, and it's the employer's choice whether to opt in. Today, the Pennsylvania Senate Democratic Policy Committee held a hearing on the impact of COVID-19 on Pennsylvania's restaurant industry. Several representatives from the industry, as well as PRLA's chairman, Bill Kowaleski, were on deck to testify. Lastly, in the category of do as I say, not as I do, Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney was photographed dining indoors at a Maryland restaurant. Meanwhile, Philadelphia restaurants have been closed to indoor dining since mid-March. Mayor Kenney issued an apology via Twitter saying that it was okay since the county where he was dining had less than 800 cases. Based on that logic, the restaurants in 2/3 of Pennsylvania's counties should be reopened immediately. I'm John Longstreet with another edition of It Happened This Week. I'll see you again next week.